Now look, this is my 70th take on this issue, on this video. I really just get lost. I'm gonna try to keep it concise and quick. Look, Jon Jones has been taking to social media recently a lot more than he has, especially because UFC 309 is about to, it's about to come up. So, it's time that, these fighters, especially the headliners, usually do this. So Jon Jones is talking more. And, is the first of this set of recent interviews. He said some real interesting stuff. The first thing he said was he flat out doesn't desire a fight with Tom Aspinall. Now, we all knew this because even earlier on when Jon was getting question after fucking question about a potential fight with Tom, he talked about, the fact that Tom really hasn't fought anybody and he needs to fight more people to deserve a fight with him. And while there are some people that may say, oh, hey, that's not fair. He's doing well, so just fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Jon has fought so many great fighters. There has always been a fucking Tom Aspinall. There was a Tom Aspinall years ago, and there was one every fucking year since. Okay, there's always been some new guy that's gonna test Jon and give Jon a run for his money. There's always been one. Sergey was that guy. Months ago, Sergey was that guy. Everybody on Twitter, nonstop. Sergey's the one to do it. Sergey looks good. Jon's scared of him. Why isn't Jon talking about Sergey? Fucking, oh my gosh, it's dumb. It's dumb. Every time somebody becomes the big dog, all the little dogs got to gather around and figure out which guy is going to act as the new big dog and challenge the big dog so there's controversy and everybody can fucking have something to feel good about and feel entertained about and shit like that. It doesn't make sense. Jon is the MMA GOAT. I don't agree with anything he's done outside of the octagon, but if we're looking at solely what he's done in the octagon, he is the GOAT. He's put away legends. He's put away dangerous men like Lyoto Machida. If you don't fucking know about who Lyoto Machida is, that guy is deadly and has always been deadly. And for Jon to do what he did against him, that shows how great Jon is. Okay? He's an all-time great. Yes, PED use. Yes, steroid use. Whatever. For the fights he has entered clean in, he has still dominated in crazy fashion. He's had tough fights. He's had wars. He's had controversial fights. I get it. But he's won and he's continued to win. The only fight he lost because he was beating the guy in a way that was illegal. That's why. Okay? So look, he's the GOAT. So I feel like with that does come some certain privileges, all right? So there's a case to be made in support of him not fighting Tom. All right? On the other side, yes, Tom is an up and comer. He's putting guys out in the first round. He's on a meteoric rise, and that gives him some points about deserving a fight with Jon. And yes, you have the whole heavyweight title controversy about him having the interim. He deserves a shot at the unified and all this shit. Jon is old. He's gonna retire. I have money on him retiring after he beats Stipe. So just wait and let the belt come to you. If Jon doesn't fight you, you're gonna get the belt at some point because nobody at heavyweight can handle you. Nobody at heavyweight has what it takes to beat Tom Aspinall. I don't think Jon even has it. I don't. Maybe he does. I gotta rewatch their fights, but Jon might not even have the stuff that it takes because Tom Aspinall is fast. He's smart. He's got amazing 1-2 punches. He's got ground game. He's got it all. So yes, I think he'll soon be the face of the UFC. But he's young, and he can fucking wait. All right. Jon is the GOAT. And that's what it is. Now, look, I can also agree that what Jon is doing is in fact ducking. He's ducking Tom. I get that. But is ducking Tom therefore, completely erase his legacy is Jon's, amazing legacy, beating all these well-known, skilled, dangerous fighters. Therefore, null and void. That we can't bring that up anymore. That doesn't make Jon deserve to be number one on the GOAT list anymore. That Jon, doesn't even deserve to be on the GOAT list. Doesn't make any fucking sense, man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Your hatred of Jon. I mean, look, you're allowed to believe what you want to believe. Everybody can believe what they want to believe. It's fine, all right? I respect opinions. I try to do it on my comments all the time. As long as you don't try to be nasty, we can have civilized conversations and be respectful and talk about, what you believe and what I believe, okay? Because I don't think Jon is a great person. I don't. I don't think he's an angel outside the octagon. But looking at the octagon and at the sport of MMA that I made this fucking channel about, looking at those things, he's an all-time great. And nothing can refute that. He's an all-time great. That's just what it is. Okay? And he also talked about in that interview, because going back to the interview, because I have to really wrap this up, man. I really get on these long tirades when talking about this shit. But he also mentioned in the interview fighting Alex Pereira instead of Tom. He feels like a fight against Alex would turn more heads and make more money. And I do agree. I think it would. I think, I think there are more Pereira fans than there are Tom fans. And I think that fight, even though you could guess the outcome, I think that fight would still be great. Because, we can all, Alex Pereira is a Muay Thai fighter. He's a kickboxer. He doesn't have much ground game, so Jon could just go for a double leg or single leg, bring Pereira to the ground, and go immediately into a back take and just submit him. But nevertheless, it's a fun fight because Alex can put guys out, and he could damn well put Jon out. So that'll be a fun fight. So can Tom. I get it. So can Tom. But from Jon Jones' standpoint, you can't blame the guy for making money moves. He's a smart motherfucker, man. He's a high IQ guy. He is. When he's off the booze and the drugs and the sniffy and the white powder, he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. He fights smart. He thinks smart. He moves smart. He's making all this money because he's smart. So that's that too. But anyway, the third point that I want to talk about, the third thing he brought up, which I don't think I put on here, but it was something that I saw, is about Jon Jones's retirement. Because we're all, everybody's got questions about whether or not Jones will choose to retire. Dana said he's preparing to make a big offer to make him not retire. Tom wants him to obviously not retire so he could fight him. There's a lot of people that want one thing and people that want the other thing and all this shit. I got money on Jon Jones retiring because I feel like he's old, he's done enough, and he may want a new outlook on life. And I wish fighters like Tony Ferguson would see that shit and try to do the same thing. Consider retirement. Tony did this bullshit half retirement thing. Just retire, you're old. But Jones said, which was a very smart thing to say, he will decide on his retirement after looking at his performance against Stipe. That's a wise decision to make. Okay? You make that decision about retiring based off of how you're looking. How are you holding up? Are you able to still fight well? If not, maybe retirement is a good option. Tony Ferguson. Anyway, these are some good takes. I hope Jon takes to social media more often and says more things. Maybe Tom will get his chance. Maybe he won't. Big fucking deal. Tom Aspinall has many years to reign. Like I said, nobody at heavyweight could touch him. So once Jon leaves, opportunities are endless. Try to get fuckers from the PFL to come in too, because you're going to be running out of guys to beat in the UFC. Maybe try boxing. I don't know. Tom's got a really bright future ahead of him, and I look forward to see what he does with it. He's going to get the championship belt when Jon leaves, and, hopefully he'll be happy. Hopefully he could then consider himself to be a fighter and shut the hell up for once, because it's just, nonstop shit in a British accent about Jon and Dana and all this shit like that, man. You can't praise a guy for being undefeated and beating people up, okay? You can't praise a guy looking at his fights alone and being amazed and impressed by that. Apparently you can't anymore because that guy did this thing. Look, like I said, Jon Jones is a bad person. He's done bad things. But in the octagon, looking at the fight game, looking at the fights, the soul fights, the MMA, looking at the octagon, what happens inside the octagon, he's the GOAT. He's an excellent fighter, a smart fighter at that. And yes, the steroids, the PEDs, this, that, the other, I get it. But even in fights where he's coming clean, he's deadly as hell. And that's just that. So let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next.